I just finished Cafe Bach, and it's nice. Of all the Kissatens I've been wanting to visit over the years, the one that's been the most difficult is Cafe Bach. Located in the northern section of Tokyo, it's off the beaten path, and I haven't been able to make my way there. Pronounced Baha,
Cafe Bach.
The cafe is owned by the husband and wife team of Mamoru and Fumiko Taguchi. When they first met back in the 1960s, Fumiko was on holiday with her parents, who had hired Mamoru to be their tour guide in his hometown of Sapporo. During their journey, the two shared their love for coffee and classical music, and their love blossomed. At the time, Fumiko owned a coffee shop in Minami-Senju, and after they married, they opened Baha. But back then, Minami-Senju was known as Tokyo Skid Row and filled with a more impoverished working class. It was Fumiko who understood the significance and value of running a cafe in a neighborhood that needed it most. Today, Minami-Senju still has that working class vibe, but you'll find locals hanging out at the local spot and a generally friendly feel. One of the simplest ways to get there is to take the Hibiya line or the Joban line to the Minami-Senju station. You know you're getting out of the city core when you get to stations that are elevated and in the open. These don't have any gates for the doors. All right, let's keep going. From there, use the south exit, and Google says it's a 10-minute walk to the cafe. You got to climb up and over the train tracks. All right, this bridge that goes over the tracks, it's a little bit freaky because it's shaking a little bit. And in a place like Japan where it's earthquake prone, that's a little bit freaky. But at least there's an elevator. We're going to take the elevator going down. And I always find it interesting to walk around and see what's happening in the local districts. Get a feel for what it's like to be here on a regular basis. I don't know if it's a coffee shop or just like a little place, but there's all these people hanging out outside at tables, smoking cigarettes, drinking. I wish I could sit there and join them. Oh, by the way, you'll see these places here. Koban, that means police. These are like little police headquarters, so if you run into any kind of trouble, this is where you go. But I saw those guys and I was like, man, I wish I could partake. And one of the problems being functionally illiterate here is that you can't really talk to people. You can't really get into the conversations and get really down and deep. And what is this place? I don't know if this is someone's house. It's kind of a dope little space. Because I can't speak the language, it's hard to get into those, spontaneous discussions with people and get, ask questions and like really get good detail on what's going on. So it's a matter of like some of it maybe just strictly conjecture or based on previous visits, based on previous conversations, or maybe even based on what I've read on the internet. But we're almost here. When you arrive, you'll find a sign featuring Johann Sebastian Bach drinking a coffee. And if that doesn't clue you in, it does say Cafe Bach in Japanese, German, Chinese, and English. And for a 55-year-old shop, the exterior looks in great condition. Okay. Sadly, they don't allow video recording inside Baha, so pictures will have to suffice. Through the years, Baha has become one of the more noted Kissatens in Japan. Mamoru Taguchi has remained at the forefront of the nation's coffee scene, publishing the much-lauded Taguchi Mamoru no Kohi Taizen, or in English, Mamoru Taguchi's Encyclopedia of Coffee. In this book, he covers everything coffee from seed to cup, detailing the Kohi Gaku, or coffeeology, for all the world to use as a resource. In addition, he's designed and developed different types of brewers and travels yearly to origin to work with the farmers who produce the coffee he desires. But it's not just Mamoru. His wife Fumiko is a French-trained pastry chef and accomplished in her own right. You can see her magic in Baha's offerings of bromeliade, pain de génie, de croix, and the cakes that fill their menu. And she too has published her own book. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. I just finished Cafe Bach, and it's nice. They don't like this to take video, so no problem with that. I just didn't take video. I even asked if they were okay to take pictures. They're like, no, don't do that either. So I was like, all right. But it's a nice little setup inside. A lot more kind of modern looking than most Kissaten that I've been to. It's a little bit more of a drywall with these older school looking like Gothic kind of chairs. But nice service. You know, they've got this nice crystals of sugar. So I ordered the Yemen, and the Yemen was good. Well, it was definitely a different. They do it in pour-over brewing, and they roast on site. I thought the coffee was a bit on the brighter, really bright, lighter roast, a bit on the sour side. Not really to my liking, you know. I tried some of the sugar to add it to smoothen it out. It was pretty good overall. I mean, it's one of the things that I think that's important to consider with visiting coffee shops, that you're trying different coffees, and Bach does have a wide selection of coffees to choose from. And it's more about the exploration to see how each coffee shop or roaster does and interprets coffee. So it's not that I necessarily need to find something that I really love every time, but more just kind of like to explore and to see what they're doing. And I want to try something different. And the Yemen was kind of different than the other stuff on the menu. And service was really good. I remember watching them, and they're very professional. They're very kind overall, and they're welcoming people, helping the elderly that are customers that come inside the shop. So really nice experience. I thought that the Bach would be a little bit, you know, louder, but it was really, really, really quiet. So it's a nice, quiet shop to hang out in, drink a coffee, relax. It's been a couple hours since my toast this morning, so I'm getting kind of hungry. I was hoping they were going to have something, you know, more substantial on their food menu, but it's mostly toast and a couple cakes, which is perfectly fine. It's for most things. I was just thinking maybe if they had like omu rice or maybe some pizza toast or something like that, I would give that a try, but they didn't have that. But that's all right. That's their thing. Not every place will have it now. It's just a matter of going out and finding something else to eat before we hit our next stop, which is by Ueno Station. Now I just got to catch the bus. We're here at Tokyo Skytree, which is not too far away. Over there. There's a place called Unlimited Coffee that one of my friends owns. I haven't been there in a couple of years. I was there a few years ago when he first opened. I gotta figure out where the bus stop is. I don't know where the bus stop is. There's a bus stop over there. The bus stop over there. I wanted to wait for a moment to cross the street because old Tutu is here. You can see her over my shoulder. I wanted to make sure she got across the street before the light changed. Hope she'll be all right.